Right folks, here we are again, and we're back in Virtual Pool 4, and we're all set for tonight's match in the VP4 Virtual World Straight Pool Championship. And we've got the match of the tournament coming up. It's a round 4 match on the winner's side, and it's going to be between Frankel and Semipro. Both players are in the lobby, well, in the game anyway. Frankel's in the chat, and Semipro is he's getting some practice in at the moment. And we've got 5 minutes or so before the room goes up. It's due to start at 1/2 the hour, or 8:30 GMT. We'll have a quick look at the bracket, and we'll see this is a match here that we're waiting on. We had a couple of matches yesterday, and well, the tournament's got a bit of way to go in the one-loss side. Larry now has his opponent. That's going to be Baker Maker, and one of the results from yesterday, well, what a tragedy that happened yesterday in the one-loss side. Romario against DJ Simon. Romario was the hot favourite, I would say, and DJ Simon, I mean, he managed to stay with him. There wasn't a lot of high-class straight pool, but what a finish. DJ Simon at the table had to pot, I think it was 3 balls, and if he hadn't clipped that 8 ball, he'd have been round behind and out into the open. And then what happened? He missed the final ball, missed the 14 ball into the corner, and Romario potted the 2 or 3 balls he needed to win it by 1 ball, 100 points to 99. And well, Simon will take a while to recover from that one. Good evening, welcome to the stream. Well, tonight's match is a bit of a semi grudge match between Frankel and Semipro, and the reason I say that is it's a rematch of the final of this year's, or last year's anyway, 8-ball bar table world championship final, which was between Frankel and Semipro. And Semipro was behind all match, had a mid-match crisis, and then eventually chipped away and got back and actually won it. So it's a bit of a grudge match. The only thing against it is the fact that this is still a winner side match. So even if Frankel wins this match tonight, Semipro is still going to get a second bite at the cherry. But either or, it can go any way, this match. Both players well capable of putting a run together. Slight favourite would have to be Frankel. I think you know, he would only be slight favourite. There is not much in it, and it's really the run of a ball that could make the difference, to be honest with you. And we wait with bated breath to see what's going to happen, and hopefully the standard will be good, and a lot to be expected from both players. Certainly neither of them are regular straight pool players, but what they are is good all-round players, and when you put that in the mix, then you expect a good standard, and that's what we're hoping for. So we have probably another 2 or 3 minutes to go. It's a good sign both players been here. We should have an immediate start. Once again, we are streaming on YouTube, and we're also streaming on Twitch, and the chat is working because we've already seen some chat up on the screen, and well, hopefully everything holds together. Let me just do a quick check before the match. It always is a bit laggy when you're just sitting in the lobby. Let me see if my doodle's working. Well, it's working, but it's a bit laggy for some reason. It's always fine in the game when the game's actually started, but when you try and do this when you're in the lobby, it drags on. But anyway, it's working. Hopefully we'll get some use of that. Well, that's the one reason I like XSplit Gamecaster. XSplit Broadcaster is the more substantial program, which allows you to do different scenes and you can input different stuff, but XSplit Broadcaster doesn't have the on-screen doodler that I've got in XSplit Gamecaster. That's why I prefer using it. And that other program I've got, Marillus Action, it has the on-screen thing, but you have to be in windowed mode. It doesn't work in desktop mode. Sorry, in full screen mode. So I'll stick with, and that's the other problem as well. That one, I think it was one Friday night 9-ball, I started to do a broadcast, and I found that my doodler wasn't working. And the reason it wasn't working is because I'd updated XSplit Gamecaster. There was a new update, so I updated it, and the new update wrecks the on-screen thing, and it won't work. And I contacted support and told them about it, and I've tried the new version again and it's still the same. So I'm working in an old version of Gamecaster just so that the on-screen thing will work for me. Right, enough waffle, let's get some pool going on here. Probably another minute to go. So I wonder what the tactics will be in this match. Whether it'll be all out, a bit more thought involved in the play I would expect from both players. Both very knowledgeable in what they're doing, so from that you do expect a high standard. At the moment, the highest run in the tournament, I think, is still, unless somebody tells me otherwise, I think it's still 71, is it, from Frankel? And then I think possibly the second highest is Romario. I think he had a 51. But as I say, I haven't been able to see all the matches. I don't think there's any other matches scheduled on the bracket. This is the only one that's scheduled. Say the one lost side will have to catch up once the loser of tonight's match moves across. So we're about there. We're almost there. Any second now. And hopefully we'll get in time for the lag off, because the lag's the most important part of the start of a straight pool match. Now, we saw the other night, Bacon Maker, I don't know whether anybody saw that match, but there the room is up. He actually did the break off on the right hand side of the rack with a lot of left inside English to get the cue ball into the back of the pack, and it actually worked. The only problem was he actually left a difficult chance for, I think it was Acero, and Acero went in straight away and got a 21 run, and I think everybody thought it was going to be a cracking match, and then it ended up in a comedy of errors as well. So here we go. I don't know who's who. We're lagging off, and well, we'll see who wins, because we know they ain't going to be breaking. They're going to be putting their opponent in. Well, the one on the right's the winner. That's pretty good lag. So Frankel has won the lag, and he's put semi-pro. So semi-pro's had a theory about the break-off, and he might try the same thing as Bacon Maker. We're going to find out. Yeah, he's tried the one with inside English, and well, same thing. He's left a difficult chance here for Frankel to get underway. Ah, we've got somebody on Twitch. Good evening and welcome. So Frankel's off and running. It's a risky break off to play, but it's if you can get it right, you're going to have that cue ball tight in the pack. But that's two breaks we've seen similar, and each of them have left a ball out. Oh, there's how many games is there in Virtual Pool 4? Everybody's got a favourite game. Mine is, my favourite game is snooker. I play a bit of 9-ball, play a bit of cowboy. Cowboy's a good game. But each person's got their... A lot of people play 8-ball, various different forms of 8-ball in Virtual Pool 4. So Frankel's got the angle in the 8-ball. He's brought a few balls into play. And straight away, he's looking to set a target here for semi-pro. Well, went all out to get into the pack and just landed on face on the 13 ball, and that's the only one he ended up moving. And I think it's the only one he can go for. Well, that 15's tight. That's a thin cut, but he'll certainly be moving balls if he gets it. Well, again, he's okay. You can worry about those balls later on. Good evening, Mark. Good evening and welcome. What happened to Leicester the day, Mark? I know that's a sore point asking that question. So, we've got 4 balls up the top end of the table, all side by side. Sorry, 3 balls. 11 balls in the open, and looking at the 11 ball, it's inside the triangle as well. Well, you see, that type of pool game, the people that play Virtual Pool 4 aren't into those type of games. Sort of gimmicky games. This is hardcore pool. You don't have any tracking lines or anything like that online in this game. This is for the connoisseurs of the game. So, Frankel's now got a toughie on the 12 ball. Or even the 7 if he wanted, but he's going to have to play a good positional shot to get on anything. Cue ball's going to have to run. And the mistake has been made. The scratch. And of course it's ball in hand in the kitchen, and any other balls in the kitchen you can't play them. Now that 13 is fine. The 2 is fine, but the 12 is dead in the pocket at the moment. So we don't have a break ball as such. 7 balls in the triangle. Frankel has a 10-point lead. And what he could do, semi-pro, is gently run the 2 ball into the 12 and leave the 2 ball over the corner pocket and try and run off the angle when he pots that, but he's thinking of something different. Now if he pots the 2, Let's have a look. Is that a 7 ball? Yes, it's definitely in the triangle. So that's going to go on the break spot. It's going to end up down here when it's re-racked. And I think he's left himself straight. Well, he's got a slight angle. I don't know whether he's got enough there though to get any power into this pack. It'll be a great shot if he'd be able to do that. So he's decided just to play a safety. So the 7 ball will go into the pack. And Frankel has to play a safety. Yeah, Frankel's not paying attention. This is where you have to use the rules of the game. And that was a clever shot there by Semi-Pro. It leaves Frankel no shot other than the safety. He's chipped the 1 ball out. I think Semi-Pro can see it. Yep. And he's got the cue ball right in the back of the pack. So that now means that the safety zone is right behind the pack again. And if somebody just mistimes a shot, that 1 ball sitting there as a starter. And of course, I keep saying the same thing every time safeties are played on the pack. You need to get yourself down to this end of the table and have a look at the lay of these balls to see if there's anything you can pick out. But Semi-Pro doesn't need to worry about that because Frankel has played a poor one and left a 1 on. And now Semi-Pro can be aggressive if he wants to take the risk and punch the 4 in, and these balls should all be moving about. And that's open pretty nice. The 9, sorry, not the 9, the 5, the 7, and what looks to be the 13 ball just above the cue ball. I don't even think, well, I think the 7's out of commission, but it can be potted from this side. So once again, nothing needs to move. So the 5 ball is going in. I'm looking to see where the break ball is here. There's nothing really obvious. So now those little cluster of balls have been taken care of. And then the other ones to deal with is the ones to the left of the cue ball. Because none of them pot the 9 ball's the blocker, so at some point he's going to have to look to get in there and move something. And he could certainly do that if he gets good on the 7. Excuse me. So we're all square. 10 points all. Very early on in the match. Now here's the chance just to nudge into those balls. Perfect angle in the 7. I think he's still okay. I think he's on the 12. The 8 ball could end up in a break ball. I don't think that 10 ball that's up there is in any great position. That one there, I don't think it's ideal. So it looks to be the 9, then the 6, possibly. Or I mean, again, he's made up his mind, I would think, what the break ball's going to be. I'm thinking it could be the 6 or the 8. Well, it's definitely going to be this. Now let's have a look at that 14. Nope, that's in the triangle as well. So that, again, that's eliminated from the process. And the 12 is behind the pack, so he's got a decision to make here. And he's still left the 6 in the back rail. I thought he was going to take the 6 earlier there, but it's still lying there. And it's definitely going to be the 6. And he has to leave the angle. And I think he's actually got a bit too much angle in this 8 ball for comfort. He has to trickle this in, or he's going to have to do something in the cue ball. And that's about... Well, he could have done with maybe a wee bit more angle. Again, he wants to hit the corner of the pack here. He doesn't want to go right into the back of it, or he'll lock the cue ball up. And that's worked out very nice. Balls are broken and plenty to choose from once he gets out of that back end of the pack. I don't know whether the 8 ball goes right behind that 14 ball. It probably does. And let's have a look. Yeah, the 8 ball goes, so you can get rid of that. And he's actually opened up those other couple of balls in the left rail. Now, you can see the difference already, the way semi-pro's playing compared to the way most of the guys we've seen playing in the last few matches. He's plotting his way around the table. There's an objective to what he's doing here. A lot of other guys are potting balls and letting the cue ball run, and they're just relying on being on a ball. They're not playing specific positional shots, and that's not how you're going to get a longer run. You got to plot your way through these balls, pick them out, get rid of the problem balls, and open up the pockets. It's the same sort of basic rules in straight pool. Same rules you should apply all the time you play. And now he's running out of balls, so he's now got some work to do. Let's have a look. Well, I think he might be looking at the 9, but it's very, very tight. I'm not thinking he's looking at a combo there, a possible 3 ball combo. That's way ambitious. He'd be probably better looking to get on the 1 and then moving something, a little nudge. He actually doesn't need to, because the 13 goes. He can use it to nudge a ball. And I think he's ended up dead straight in the 1. So he could be playing for the 13 next year. That has to get to the pocket. And it just goes in. And I think he might even have the wrong angle on the 13. Yep. Now this is the first sort of little problem he's going to have to deal with here. He's going to have to ride his luck here. That little nudge, is he free enough? Yes, he is. So the run goes to 23. Now that 14 that he's nudged is now a good break ball right on the corner of the pack, right on that corner of the triangle. And we'll see if he has made that choice. Now that's gone wrong. And he's going to have to either choose the 14 or take the risk of the combo. The combo looks pretty good. Just a gentle little roll. Doesn't need to thump anything here. He's going to be on the 9 anyway. And he'll probably be on the ball that's left over the pocket. Well, the 4's gone away from the pocket, but he's always got the back up. So, the first real crucial shot coming up. Now it's about getting good on that 14, and anywhere like there would do, just enough angle to chip the corner of that pack. You don't want to be here. You want to get up here and not too far. You don't want to be going that way, and I think he's totally misjudged that. Didn't get the reaction in the cue ball he was expecting there, so nothing but the safety. So that's the first sort of loose shot he's played. So the run ends on 28, and I think that all came from Frankel's scratch. So Frankel has a 21-point deficit to make up. Now, what we've got here. I think we'll look at the table from this end. Well, is that getting there? Well, Frankel's got a teaser here. It's off the rail. But he'll be looking to tuck that down into the, well, the bottom pocket as we normally look, but the top pocket in this case. Right, if he's going to do anything here, he's going to have to fire that 15 in with a lot of inside English, which makes this shot very difficult. And it could go wrong. If he misses the 15, it could go around the angles and get into the pack itself. He's just decided to play it clever and not take any undue risks. And he's now going to lock the cue ball here. Now, how many times have we seen some of these players in this tournament, you know, play something ridiculous to try and get into the pack? Frankel could have actually cut that 15, and the worst possible outcome would have been he would have cut the 15, but because if he was trying to break the pack, he would have been playing it with a lot of inside right English for the cue ball to come off there and get into the pack. But the chances are he could have missed the 15. It runs around the angles and it smacks into the pack and it opens him up for semi-pro. So, you know, these are the things that can happen. So that's why he did the sensible thing and kept it tight. Now that's a little bit slow, is it? I don't think it's got there. No, that 10 ball will cut. I don't know whether it will, certainly doesn't look as if it goes to the middle, but it will certainly go into that corner pocket. Nope. Not going to risk it. That's the more aggressive safety. And now let's see if Semi-Pro will take the bait, because that 9-ball will cut. And it's a sort of all or nothing shot in the rack, because he knows he's going to leave something on for Frankel if he went for it. So now it gets interesting, because they're running out of balls to actually play safe off. And sooner or later, somebody's going to get caught out, and that might be it. That is too heavy, and the cut is on. When Semi-Pro can gain a fairly big advantage here if he can run these balls. He's already got a lead. His lead is 20. And every ball on the table is sitting very nicely indeed. Yeah, Frankel just a wee bit heavy with his touch there. And all it takes is just one loose safety shot, and you can be sitting watching your opponent putting a stack of balls together. Perfect angle on that 13. Can put the cue ball wherever he wants here, over to the right hand middle pocket for those 2 balls in the middle of the table, or onto the 3 ball, or take care of these balls at the bottom. Well, it'll be interesting to see how Frankel responds as and when he gets back to the table. He might go more into his shell and really tighten things up. So now's the time to take care of these 2 balls, I would think. He's still looking at the 3-6 ball, could be the break ball. It's a bit away from the pack. How's that 10 ball sitting? Well, that 10 ball could be a break ball as well. It's right high in the point. But these 2 balls, they're no good. He needs to get rid of them. Perfect opportunity to do it. Pot the 2, roll through off the end rail, up the table for the 8, and that takes care of business at this end. Well, he's went around the corner and he's went short. My assumption is he played for the 8, but you know, when you're playing the 2 there, the next ball obviously to play for would be the 8, so well, he's taken away what could have been the break ball. And now it'll have to be the 4, then the 8. And more than likely, the 10 ball is going to be the break ball. Now that 10 ball is, say, it's high on the point of the triangle, so you're looking at getting there. But you don't want to brush past the pack. So there's a very fine line to get on this 10 ball to make it a good break ball. That's why on the point there is not ideal. He could go from that side if he pots the 3 and pot the 10 in there, and then that'd be a better break ball. And that looks like what he's going to do. Let's have a look. And he's got enough angle there. Could have did be a wee bit more, believe it or not, but he should nudge something out. And he's brushed off the pack. And would you believe it? He's ended on nothing. Let's have a look here. Nope, there's nothing here at all. Nothing but the safety. And, well, Frankel will be relieved at that. And the run ends at 13, but more importantly, Semipro has built up a lead. The lead is 32. And Frankel now, it's early damage limitation here because he doesn't want to make another mistake. What's he looking at here? Well, he's looking at a, surely not, a 9, 2, 14, 5 and 8 ball. I think that 5 ball is hitting the 8 ball too thick. And surely he isn't contemplating that. I think he is, you know. I think he is. Well, this will be some shot. This will be some shot. I think it's hitting it too thick. Yeah. Yeah. Now you see that smacks of a little bit of desperation early on because of the deficit, and this is where you make the wrong move at the wrong time, and he may well pay dearly for that one. Now, he would have looked a hero had that gone in, but it really was the shot of a desperate man, and it's so early in the match. Far too risky to go for something like that early on. And now he's going to pay the price. I mean, it looked conceivably that there was a 4 ball combo there, but I didn't like the way that 5 ball was running onto the 8 anyway. It looked as if it was hitting it too thick to make the cut angle for the 8. You always go with your instinct. My instinct straight away tells me it looks good, but it isn't set. And you're really hoping for an extreme bit of good fortune for that to go in. And Frankel made the wrong choice there. And all these points. Well, he's done exactly what I said he didn't want to do. He did, you know, after Semi-Pros put those couple of little runs together, Frankel didn't want to do what he's just done and take an undue risk and give the table back to Semi-Pro so soon. Because this is like the icing on the cake, this. He's going to have to work on his strategy here, Frankel, and keep it really tight. See, there's always other ways to win a match like this other than just trying to create clever looking shots out of nothing. You don't want to make it easy for your opponent. And at the moment, it's looking easy for Semi-Pro. So Semi-Pro gets to 50. And I think the 2 ball and yeah, everything is in the triangle there. The 12 ball's a break ball at the back of the pack, as is the 14. Well, that's now gone out of line. I think he's still got the 11 ball. So he's out of shape and he's calling the combo. I mean, there is a safety. He could just roll on to the 2 and lose the 1 point and leave Frankel nothing. And again, he's playing an ambitious combo because he's got the lead. You know, the thing to do would have been just to lock that cue ball onto the 2 and leave Frankel absolutely nothing and pile on the pressure. So semi-pros missed an opportunity there. You've got to use the rules of the game, and just rolling up to that 2 and locking the cue ball onto it would have left Frankel zilch. And now he's given Frankel a starter. And I'll tell you something, Frankel's the type of guy who, when he gets in and he starts getting his act together, semi-pro might pay the price and come back to the table with not much between the two of them. You never know. Well, that's a total numpty shot there if ever I've seen one by Frankel. Goodness knows what the hell he was thinking, trying to cut that 9. Hoping the cue ball would hit the point of the pocket there and come away. Well, no, he can't. So, a mistake by semi-pro. Well, Frankel is riding his luck here. So the deficit now is 40. Well, you can use all the cliches in the game. You know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So we'll see how Frankel reacts. His first attempt ended in a disaster. And that is, well, how's his luck here? I think he's just won a watch there with that 3 ball. Because that 3 ball that's actually got him out of jail. He was in absolutely nothing until that 3 ball finished where it was, or where it is. But it doesn't matter, you need that little bit of run. Yeah, it's still early, but as I say, when it's early as this, Frankel should have kept it really, really tight. There's still plenty of time to get back into it. Now, what have we got? A combo. Now, is that going to the jaw? Let's have a quick look. No, it's okay. It's dead set. Don't think there's a big gap between them. About quarter an inch. So now these are all Frankels. Not a blocking ball anywhere. I don't think many people will get that. only the Scots will get that. See, this is why I wish people would, you know, when you register to chat, you should register with a name that I recognise so I know who it is. So, Frankel's run. No, Mark, it means she thought he was asking him, where do you comfy? As in C-O-M-E-F-A-E, comfy. It's just a play on words. So she replied, govern. Yeah, Frankel said to me the other night that he'd caught a cold. Well, he must have caught mine, because I seem to have had a cold for the last 2 months. And Frankel's response was all too short. And all these balls that should have been Frankel's are now going into the coffers of semi-pro. Yeah, I'm my sinuses are playing up, my head's all blocked up, and I'm even deafer than I normally am. Well, the 2 ball is a perfect break ball if you get a good angle off it. Albie, don't forget that Semi-Pro was having a mid-match crisis in the final of the 8-ball bar table. He started moaning and complaining about the way things were going, and he started talking to me in the chat in the game. He was watching the stream, and then he got his head together and got back in the match. And Frankel can do the same thing, but he's already made far too many mistakes. So now we do have a crisis at hand. The lead is building up and building up, and it's going to need a big response from Frankel if he gets a chance. He's certainly going to have to make a contribution very soon, or this match is going to run right away from him. By the way, Albie, why did you no play your match in the straight pool tourney? You forfeited twice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why do you come in masquerading as Rachel? Oh, Albie, you could have showed him how to win this. I checked in on Shooter's Pool at 7 o'clock tonight. There was 39 in Shooter's Pool, and there was 35 in VP4. And it's happening more regular every time I check. So the run is at 13, but the more important score is 68 to semi-pro, and just a 23 to Frankel. I think that's ended up a bit too straight in the 15. He's just going to have to roll it in, leave himself in the 1, or get rid of the 8 ball or the 13. Now, you say you were disqualified for some reason. You didn't make your second match, or you think the tournament bracket messed up? The tournament bracket was messed up, by the way, when I think about it. Was it Larry that mentioned it? Larry mentioned that you didn't show... Aye, Larry mentioned that when you forfeited the first match, you didn't show on the loser's side. And... I mean, obviously that was rectified, but I don't know what the hell happened. If they rectified it and ended up just disqualifying you without you arranging your match. But then again, if you already realised that and you didn't say anything to them, then it's probably too late now. Well, 6 ball will do as the break ball. He wants to be somewhere in there. I think he's got a slight angle. How's his luck? It doesn't look good from where I'm standing. Oh, he's on the 8. Oh, no, he's not. He's on nothing. Now, is he looking to try and sneak behind the 8 ball here? That would be risky. And Steve put me back in, but that left so little time for my opponent and he couldn't play, so I forfeited instead. Oh, Christ. Well, this little exchange here, we've got Frankel now, what is he, 51 points behind, and this safety exchange, even at this stage, could decide the match. It might be too early to say, but you know, if semi-pro gets in again, well, he's taking a risk. He called the combo in the 2. That's a great shot. Very risky. Very risky shot to take, but this could reap dividends if he can get on something off this 3. He's not got a lot of choices here though. These balls are all ugly. He's going to have to get good. And that could lock on to the 4. Oh, a little nudge has helped. Well, it wasn't a Frankel error that started this. This was a risky combo that semi-pro decided to take, and he's getting his reward. The one thing you can tell them at Shooter's Pool, Albie, is tell them once they get rid of this aim restriction choice, where there's rooms where aim restrictions on and aim restrictions off, once they get rid of that crap and just have it a flat no aim restriction, then they'll probably get more people playing it. I'd certainly play it. Until they do that, I ain't going to be bothering my backside. Because half the time you're always playing to somebody else's preferences, which is what I don't like. The only thing you're playing to in Virtual Pool 4 is rules of a game. Whereas over there you're having to play to somebody else's preferences, something you don't like, and that's what I don't like about it. And it might be what a lot of other people don't like. So it's now a deficit of 60. And Frankel has been sitting in 23 for what seems a long, long time. But these balls here are all bonus balls, as far as I'm concerned. Because there's no way you'd expect him to have risked that combo. So these are all to the good, whatever he ends up on this visit. Well, if you can get that cue ball out to here, or there I should say. Now, has he gone too far? Well, he can go, he can stun off a couple of rails, or he can try and get right into the pack. I think he's a bit straight. He would have liked a better angle than this. Yeah, that's why he's missed him. Needed a bit more spin into that. So it's just going to be the safety, but it's another contribution of 14, and he's trying to spin off the corner into the pack. And again, absolutely nothing on show for Frankel. And that's running again, that cue ball. Wanted to hide that 8, and well, he still hid it. Excuse me. But it always makes it gives you something that's in your mind whenever you're playing safeties at the back of the pack with that 8 ball being exposed. You're always trying to hide that cue ball. And now you've got a couple of them out. And now there's not a lot of places to hide here. If you get the pace of the safety wrong now, you're either leaving a 2 or a 12 ball down the rail. So Frankel's got to be careful here and judge his pace right. And he's gone too far. And that's always likely to happen. You just get that pace wrong. With the loose balls, you're always going to risk heavily laying something on. And also, look at where the 3 ball's sitting. That 3 ball's just waiting to be knocked into the hole. And that cue ball will expose a lot more balls in a second. And the other thing is, as well, if Frankel, like me, isn't feeling 100%, then if it goes the way it looks like it's going, then he's always got the one lost side, and he's more than good enough to have a run through the one lost side. And you know, by then you would expect him to be probably feeling a bit better, because I know there's nothing worse than trying to play this game with your nose streaming or feeling like shit, as he says. Well, there's not exactly an obvious break ball at the moment. The 5 ball over the right hand side could be used as a break ball, and there's one ball. What one is it anyway? Is that the 9? That's not an ideal place. The 11 is an opportunity. It's a bit tight. Well, the 5 ball's about to go, and the problem with this shot though is he's only got a narrow margin, either running through for the 13 or on that 9. But if he gets rid of the 9, he's opening up the 11. But the 11's the only one that's at the back of the pack. And the 4 ball, well, be good to get on the 4 ball, but he's going to have to then get a good positional shot if he's going to continue the run. And he's the wrong angle in the 13 here. He's going to have to check that cue ball just to stop it running away. So 11 ball it is for the break. And Semi-Pro is now on the 100 and just needs another 50. Well, he's got to be careful, because it can only hit the top of the cue ball, and the worst thing will happen here is running off the pack and following that 11 ball into the pocket. And he's almost scratching the other pocket, but it doesn't matter. He's got the 11, and he's also got another one as a bonus. I think he'd have wanted to be maybe a wee bit further over there. I mean, looking at that lay of the table, these balls here are awkward. If he had got good on the 4, he could have run across there that way. He would have to get good on this 8. So he's just struggling a wee bit here. And now, if he gets this right, he could maybe rest onto the 3, nudge it out of the way, and hold for the 8. And how's he got there? Is he on the 13? Well, he can get the 13. He could even pot the 8, but you know, that's certainly nudging the balls. I think he's more inclined to do that here. with his big lead. Well, there's the miss. So now, well, it's all about getting a respectable score here now for Frankel. He's way, way behind. And it's going to have to be an almighty effort if he's going to get himself back in the match in any sort of way. I think everybody knows he's... everybody who's, you know, seen Frankel play would know that he's up for the challenge. But it's a tall order. And he's already, as I said earlier on, he's already put the longest run in of the tournament. That run of 71, I think, was in his first match. It might even have been his first visit to the table. And, well, he's going to have to more than match that here. And the 3 ball is ideal. He's not gone too straight, has he? He could have done me a bit more. Once again, he's just going to have to force it. And, well, this is okay. He's got a backup ball. The 9's there, but he's got the 1. He's playing the 4 onto the 8. There's his luck. Still okay. He's not actually really improved the situation a great deal. There's still balls stuck together. That's a wee bit better. Now he's got a cut back into a blind pocket though. These are always testers. Well, if he can get on the 15 at the back of the pack, well, that's even better. He's just landed on the 4. And a little chip away of the 14. And he's just out of line slightly here. These cutbacks are always a tester. Very simple to send it to a jaw and just hang it up. This, remember, we're playing on the tournament setting, so these are, what the hell are they? Do they call them narrow or tight? I can't remember. Oh, they call them narrow. I think tight's the next one or something. Now, where's his break ball here? Well, it could be it could actually be the 12. Is that the 12 or the 15? It's the 15 at the back of the pack. The 6 is a bit too close. I mean, getting on the 6 is a really accurate shot to try and even play that as a break shot, so It's, well, it's not even going to be the 15. It might end up in the 5. Well, we'll see how he sees it. And now he's ended up in no man's land. Because he has such an acute angle to cut this, he's no guaranteed he's going to get any good on this this 14 ball. Well, he's done his best, but he's so high up. He's got I don't know whether he can get a great deal of this pack, and that's the problem, and that's the worst possible outcome. He skimmed off the pack and scratched. And that's just a gift of a start for semi-pro. And Frankel's run ended at 19. And just getting out of line on that ball in the side rail was the root cause of that. So once again, Frankel just having to sit there and looking at all these balls that should have been his, all disappearing down the holes. A bit straight in the 3. Now there is nothing here easy. Well, he's got to look for the safety. And I don't think there's a great deal of places for safety here. If he could hit that 12 ball full, he can try and lock the cue ball close to the 9. Whether he can cover enough, I think he can. I think you can possibly see enough of it. I don't know. He doesn't look as if he's doing that though. He's gone all out for it. That's a great shot. But when you've got the big lead, that's when you can afford to take that risk. He's having second thoughts. 13 ball would be a break ball, but I think he's more concerned about just putting points on the board at this stage and worry about what's to come rather than paying a great deal of heed to the break ball situation. once again, nothing needs to be moved there. If he drops the 11 in, he can run through, get rid of the 9. Well, if he's taking the 4, he's hoping to drop over this side for either the 15 or the 9, because I don't think the 1 comfortably goes. It's a bit tight, but it does go. But a nice little angle on that 15 where he can run through and come around the corner. He looks as if he's going to stun back up the table. So if he can see enough of the 9, it's a question of whether he can just hold enough here to use that 1 ball. I don't know whether he can. He might sneak around the corner behind the pack. Well, let's have a look. Oh no, I think he might be able to get enough of it. He might have to put a wee bit of spin on it. Yep. Oh, and he's sneaking out for the 8 ball as well. That'll do. That's a bonus. So the run is 15, but the overall score is 124 to 42. What's he going to pick out here? Well, nothing that side. And if he's going to be... Well, really, that's too close, actually, I think, to make the combo either. So he's just looking to play a safety. So the run ends at 17. Well, I think that shot there is like not quite the final nail in the coffin, but not far off it. Well, it's going to have to be another good shot here for semi-pro, because he's not landed good on anything. He's just looking to get this cue ball back online. He's just running up and down the table here, trying to get the cue ball under control. And now it's looking a bit better. And now everything's wide open. So 131 is the score. And semi-pro's riding off into the sunset. So the match has been going on for what, an hour and 12 minutes. And it's been a fairly solid performance from Semi-Pro. He's pretty much taken all the opportunities he's been given, and I mean, although there's been no great long run, the contributions have been more than enough to stretch him away from Frankel. And for a long period of time, Frankel was stuck in the 23, and then he got that chance. And then that fell by the wayside, and that's how he's ended up in 42. So this final positional shot onto the 7. Let's look at that triangle. We'll see he's beyond the corner of the pack. So now if he's going to try and draw into it, I don't know whether he'd be better going off the end rail. Yeah, I think he was trying to do too much there. So the visit ends in 11. He score on 137, just 13 away. And Frankel back at the table. Well, what we would have to see now in this instance would be something that a professional would do. And when I say that, when the professionals are playing straight pull to 150, this is a perfect scenario for some of those guys where they'd be coming to the table with a big deficit. They're in last chance saloon and they come in and they run out. It's happened plenty of times before in the professional game in straight pull. Well, what's the name of that commentator? Any of the American guys watching will know. Is it American football? Not what's his name? Not John Madden. There's another guy. I don't know whether he's something to do with American football, but his famous line is, "It's not over till it's over." And there's never a truer saying, because as long as somebody's still waiting in 1 point, you're still in the game. And believe me, Frankel is still up to actually make this respectable. But even to do that is you need a bit of luck. It's all very well getting that break shot, but you need that luck. You need to get them breaking nice for you. So the odds are stacked firmly against him rescuing this match. not very inviting for a break ball, but it looks likely that it's going to be the 12. Now, he wants to get himself ideally there to actually cut that in. That's what he's looking to do. It needs to go a wee bit more. Let's have a look. Oh, he's going to have to pinch a wee bit here to get that cue ball across. He's just going to have to pinch it. And what's happened? You look at where the cue ball's finished. You know what I said about getting that wee bit of luck? You know, it's getting that break ball's fine, but getting that wee bit of luck when you get into the pack, and that's ended up stone dead. Well, this is where you play the safety and lock it up somewhere, but I'll tell you something, he's going to have to be very careful. It looks okay from what I can see. Semi-pro looking to just hide in the corner. He doesn't like the look of that, but I don't think he's got many other options. He's just going to play the what looks like maybe ended up being a deliberate foul. And I don't think Frankel's got an awful lot of choices here. I don't think there's many places he can hide this cue ball. Is he thinking in the 3? That is way too ambitious, cueing over a ball. So now both players are in one foul. And semi-pro looking to get a ball to a rail. And this is where you're using visualization to think about what you do with that ball and where the ball's going to end up. Trying to pick out a shot. He's looking just to miss the 9, which he has done. And he's locked it on the 7. And I think now Frankel's got that dilemma. And there's nowhere to hide now. Not really. I mean, if he ran to the corner over here, there's no hiding place because he's leaving a 15. If he leaves something, if he gets there, I don't think he's leaving a lot, but he's gone for the cut. It was all or nothing. And the only way out of that situation, there was a possible safety on, but again, the way he's been playing with the weight of shots and some of the safeties earlier in the match, I don't think it would have turned out too good for him. But he's got another chance to eat into the deficit. A wee bit of ugliness in the top left hand corner. He could play the combo onto the, I think that's the 10 ball. And if he did that and get rid of the 10, then he's left another combo into the corner. He might look at moving these balls now off the 6. And that's ended up okay. And we'll have an early look at where the break ball might be. Well, it's none of them. And it is going to be the combo. Just a gentle roll. Just leave the one ball over the corner. Not forgetting, we've still got a rogue ball down at the bottom of the table here. This 11 ball, he's going to have to find a way to get there. I don't know whether he's got any angle in that 14. Not really. He's too straight. He might be doing it now though. And I think the 15's a bit straight as well. Let's have a look. Well, this is a bit of a tight angle to be going for the cut in either of these. I think he looks as if he's wanting to leave the one as a break ball, so his mind's made up. And the one ball is only a good break ball if he gets a good angle on it. And he can certainly draw off the one into the, maybe even just the corner of the pack. Let's see what he does. And he hit the 9 ball on the corner, and that's worked out pretty good. He's got a couple of choices. And now he's a bit out of line. That ball's nudged off the rail and ended up in a blocker. The 12 ball doesn't go. That's way too tight to go in off the jaw. So what to do here? Now, has he got on that 10 ball? That's tight as well, for comfort's sake. It is tight. If he tries to cheat the pocket, it's very easy to hang it up. Now he's squeezing the 15. He just got the gap in the 15. What's this? Well, there's nothing doing here with these balls. They're all out of commission. And he so wants to take the 13 to try and move them now. Oh, well, he's okay. That could have locked right up against him, but he's got a wee fiddly one here. Just to watch that Q-tip on the cue ball. He doesn't start twitching it about and putting English on it. Now, from creating these open balls here, he's now got this problem on the right hand side. Now if he can get good in the 12, that'll be his breakout shot to open those balls. And he's got a chance now. He might, no, I don't think he might nudge into the 7 here. No, just squeezing past it. Well, this is the interesting point in the rack. You're now down to a limited amount of shot choices. If he gets good on the 6, he could run over into them. Let's see what he's got now. What's he going to do? I think he can just land on the 3. I don't know whether he can land on those 2 balls. Well, he said a little nudge. I think. Oh, yes, it goes. That's turned out pretty nice. The run goes to 22. Well, it looks as if it's going to be the 10 ball for the breakout, or the break shot anyway. Oh, that nearly went wrong. He's still okay. So, a good angle on the 10, anywhere like that, or that line, and he's pretty much there. So, another break shot, oh dear. And I think that cue ball is going to find the gap to the 12. Yep. Well, that mistake there might be the final one. The run ends in 26. And the comeback, as it was, has now petered out. Well, I don't think Semi-Pro liked to look at the 12. I don't think he could squeeze through enough, so took the other choice. And there's enough balls on the table to win the match here. He's overcut the 4. It was always a tough one. So, very quickly, Frankel has got another bite at the cherry. I think he was, I think he'd already split his cue and had it in its case there. I think he'd taken off his bow tie and was ready to go home. Well, I think he said I'm done because I think he thought he was done. As it is, he's back at the table. So, Semi-Pro, still 11 short. I think the psychological thing with what's happening here for Frankel is to get to 3 figures. If he gets to 3 figures, apart from the fact the score looks a lot better, psychologically it begins to affect both players in a different way. Because Frankel's obviously in a situation where he's got nothing to lose. And Semi-Pro will begin to get a wee bit more nervy the closer Frankel gets. It's still obviously a big ask. And there's still 51 points in it. And so this conversation in a match, I know personally from my point of view, when I've got my mind on the game, I certainly don't want to be getting into a conversation with whoever it is. I don't care whether they're my friend or not. That's the last thing in my mind. My mind's on what's to be done. I've got no friends when I'm playing in a tournament. Absolutely no friends. The only friend you've got is yourself when you're playing in a tournament. And any opportunity you get, you put your foot across the guy's neck and you make him hurt. That's exactly what you do. Now we've got a good break ball here, and he needs that bit of luck again. And he's made an ass of it, and that is possibly it. He's done this time. So the run ends on 11. That's two. I think I'm right in saying there, he's had 2 break shots, and they've been good break balls, and he's missed the 2 of them in those last 2 visits, I think. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but you think about what he could have made with those visits had he not actually missed the pot in the break ball. What the hell's that shit coming up in the chat? What's that number? And who the hell's Najar Jasser? Is it? Don't tell me that's a spam bot, is it? Don't tell me we've got them in the chat, have we? Well, where's Semi-Pro ended up here? He's still 9 short. And he's on nothing. Well, the one thing that Frankel can't do is push the 1 away. He's going to try and just tie the cue ball onto the 1 here, I think. He's going to move balls though, doing it. And that'll do it. Just a point away. Didn't get to a rail, but it doesn't matter. What's more important is protecting the cue ball. But Semi-Pro can punch the 1 away, and he can lock onto the 6 here. He can play that angle there and just nudge onto the 6. That's what he's doing. He's not done any damage. Now, has he left a combo? Well, that looks as if, what's the gap between them? Well, they're not far off one another. But it might go in off the jaw. No, it's going away, but he's still left it safe. Got the emergency back up there. Well, you still here there, Mark? You're normally in bed at this time. It's 10 past 10. Well, there's a mistake by Semi-Pro. And this match still goes on. And now Frankel's getting a wee bit more interested. I take it you're joking when you say that, Mark. Please tell me you're joking. Well, the right hand side of the table is not very appealing, and it looks like the cut into the middle is the only sort of semi-comfortable option here. Well, now he can break a couple of balls off this 14, I think, if he wants. No, not interested in it. And you can certainly do that off. Is that the 10 ball up there? I can't see from this distance. No, it is. It's a 10. Well, he's absolutely missed everything. Missed everything. Well, he had a better opportunity earlier on with that 14 ball. He's maybe going to have to check this cue ball off that left rail when it hits it, just so that he hits. Well, he's not even doing that. He's just going to land in the 2. In a way, he's still doing the right thing, because you know, when if you play the right position, you don't have to move anything. He just has to get rid of the 13. And I think he can get clean through to the 13 from here if he wants. He's just going to brush off that 5 and go up for the 15, I think. And the 6 ball, once he gets rid of that, that's now opening the 11. And the 8 ball, again, quick look at it. Again, it's right at the top of the pack, the point. So it's a reasonable break ball, but you have to get really good on it. Well, we've now got to the point where Frankel is in 3 figures. And the deficit now is down to 37. Well, let's see if he gets good. He's gone too straight again. Now, he should just be taking this 8 and running and hiding. And that's exactly what he's doing. Nine out of 10 other players would have smacked that ball to try and break a ball out. And he's left a sighter on this too. Trying to lock that cue ball onto the 11 there, and it's just come away. And this time there is a ball still there for semi-pro. Well, just think back that little while, as I mentioned earlier there, Frankel had 2 break balls. Oh dear. Well, is there another twist in this tail? Frankel's getting chances here that any other day of the week, this game would have been over. And the more that semi-pro sits there, still needing 8, the more keen Frankel is getting. I mean, this match should possibly have been over about twice before. And believe me, Frankel's given it 100% focus now. He's well up for the job now. Surely he can see the one. Yes, he can. So now it's down to 30. Where's the break ball? None of them. The 4 ball could be the break ball. But I've said this in previous matches, the 4 ball as a break ball is not a great break ball. And because it's more than likely that you're coming off that rail and getting into the back of the pack, smack in the middle. And more often than not, you end up just going into the back of the pack, just like in snooker, and you end up on the back of the pack, not in a ball. You've got to try and hit a corner ball. So it all hinges on the position. He could try the 14 ball. That's not a great break ball either, where it is. So the decision should already have been made. Well, he's drawn back. I don't know whether he wanted to draw that far back. Well, he's taking the 5. And this is dead straight. He's not got a lot of options here. I mean, he can only kill the cue ball or go forward. If he goes forward, he's running straight to the pocket. So this is the ball that I don't think he wants to be taking. See, if he rolls that straight, he's rolling past the 14. He could leave himself on the 14, but that's extremely dangerous to even attempt that. That's why he's decided on the 4. So he's going to have to find another way. And that would be the way. Or that would be the way to get into that pack. And he's going for the first option. Now, if he runs this into the 4 and the 3 at the corner on the left hand side, oh, he's stunned across the head of the pack and he's missed the break ball again. And well, that is 3 break balls that have gone nowhere, and I think in each of them he's got the break, but well, it's now, how many balls is it? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 1 ball is 7. So the balls are all there for semi-pro, and the match should be over now. Well, in the last half an hour or so, I think we can say that Frankel has had more than enough chances to have actually maybe even reduced that deficit right down to the wire, and he's blown all three of them. It has to be said, he'll have nightmares about those 3 break balls. So semi-pro on the 5 and back across for the 14, and he'll win the match by 150 points to 118. At least he got respectability in the score. But Frankel's going to have to do it the longer route. He'll move over to the 1 loss side. We'll have a look at the bracket. And semi-pro is now the favourite for the tournament. So, well, that match got away from Frankel early on, and then he had all those opportunities, and I think he'll be really kicking himself for those chances that went astray. Right, Mark, good night, and good night to you guys. But we'll have a wee look at the bracket and just see how it shapes up before we go. And if we look here, well, we've got Frankel playing Romario. Now, we know what Romario's like. If you haven't seen him, you know exactly how he plays. He just goes for everything. And it could cause a problem for Frankel. But I think Romario, from long time experience, will make far too many mistakes. But in a race to 100, I think that's an evens match, to be honest with you. If Romario keeps his head, it's an even bet. And looking at the winner's side, we'll see that semi-pro now moves on to play Acero, and that will still be a tough match as well, but semi-pro's now got the favourite tag. So now those two guys have until January the 19th to play their match. You've got to remember that semi-pro's in the UK and Acero is in Japan, and they're about 8 or 9 hours in front of the UK time, so I don't know what sort of time they'll be able to set for a match. On this side, we've got Larry waiting to play his match with Baker Maker. They've got until January the 14th to arrange that. And of course, once those two matches have taken place, then the winner of either of those are going to move across on that 1 loss side to play one another. So you've got a possibility, if it went by favourites, you would say Frankel could end up playing Larry. So, like I say, Frankel, if he's going to continue in the tournament, is going to have to do it the hard way, as are all the remaining guys in the tournament. And no other matches are scheduled. So until then, folks, thanks for your company. Thanks for watching. And we will see you again sometime, folks. I'll bid you good night. I'm going to head to bed. I'm back up at work tomorrow, 4 o'clock. And we'll see you again.